Hi guys, this is Nikki, also known as Face Trader, and you're watching the Awesome10x Philippine Market Update. It's November 16, and we are gonna start. But before we begin, are you watching Startup K-drama? If yes, I am Team Han, and I've been sharing why I think the Team Han Jip Yong should win. And this is an extensive thread. For those who aren't watching, sorry, you will have some spoilers if you read this thread. So my account is at Faces Trader, but let's go. Let's begin. This is the WealthSec platform. The Philippine markets today are down 51 points, negative 0.74%. Your index, let's take a look first on your index. Your market value is 8 billion pesos, so that's a respectable, very huge volume. The market is truly getting a lot of bulls in action because we truly had only 4 billion pesos in value turnover maybe about 6 months ago. So the bullish moves of the market has come from the catalyst that we can have an imminent COVID vaccine within the next 6 to 12 months after the BioNTech and Pfizer results had a 94% effectivity rate, a very high effectivity rate. So of course, the advancers 119, decliners are 109. Some people are profit taking as expected. You've got some foreign net selling negative 1 billion pesos. Let's take a look at your winners and losers. From just a perspective on the market, you could see index is down, all shares down, financials down, industrials, holdings, properties are down. It's down because of a lot of profit taking. Mining is down, so there's a lot of downticks for the day. Meralco is up 4%, AGI is up 3%, Megaworld is up 3%, Puregold is up 2%, your GT Cap is down 5, Bloomberry is down 4, SM Prime is down 2.4, etc., etc. So you've got a lot of profit taking on your reopening plays, specifically your GD Caps and your Bloomberries and your SM Primes, and Robinson's Land continues to dwindle down. Take a look at the index movers, of course. I'm just going to read out to you the prices. Meralco is now trading at 315. Your BPI is 83. Okay, so the results are the earnings results of BPI was already out, and the market actually didn't like the results. So take note that BPI has been going up mostly on the MSCI. So MSCI had added BPI weighting such that it even rallied to as high as 92. Do note that BPI near 90 is a resistance. So it could be at the elevated levels for those who are taking a look at that BPI. AEV is 4805, we don't cover. Megaworld 360, it is already at resistance 3.6. It could rally further, but take note that 360 to $4 is a potential resistance zone. Your Puregold is now back to 44. We have been opining for quite a few days ago, weeks, that we were saying that at 41, 42, if you are accumulating there, it should be fine because we do see that it's going to go back to 44, 45, or even 46, and the downside would be predicted at the most at about 38 pesos. So we did see that Puregold actually didn't go $40 below. It actually solidified that support at 41, and true enough, Puregold today rallied to 44. So that's a 7% move from that 41 area. Your Globe is 2020. My argument is that 2000 below, you've got a lot of buyers. Globe always has given that 4 to 5% dividend. So those who are picking up Globe at 2000 level will make money. Give it some time. MPI 4.2, you've got resistance at 4.5, so it's a bit stable there. It's not moving much. Meralco and MPI should be seen more of a stable play because they provide that dividends. It's just that hospital, etc., and a lot of toll roads. So it's not a reopening play. It's more like just a stable company, similar to what a Puregold is for a portfolio. It's just stable. DMC is actually rising, just part of that reopening play. However, DMC here at these levels might have some temptation for some profit taking. We'll check out that chart later on. DMC, we opined at about 4+ levels, would have a solid support. The resistance might mean a high of 6 or 7. 540 gives you, it can go higher, but it can also go down below 5. So San Miguel Corporation, 108. Emperador, $10, just steady. LTG, good numbers, but 12.4. You've got some resistance profit takers. Robinson's Retail at 64, rally to 66, so it's fine. It has been picking up, just like Puregold has been picking up from that 41 lows. Video is still a laggard at 92. Your PLDT at 1380. PLDT got supported at 1300. It did get some resistance about 1420 above. That was at 10%. move. For PLDT, do note that it's going to be in a trading range from about 1300 to 1500 max. So 1380 is just midpoint. Bloomberry, this one is interesting at $8. We'll take a look at the chart of that. For those who are aware, of course, the casinos specifically highlighting Bloomberry and your Soler, such as Soler, and of course your PLC, which is your Melco Crown City of Dreams, would have that buyer if a reopening didn't. So in the next 6 to 12 months, more so, Bloomberry and Soler had the green light from PAGOR to allow that the land-based casinos to also offer online betting. So those are positive catalysts, which is why Bloomberry rallied from 7 to 9, nearing 9, didn't go 9. I think it went as high as 48.50. And then your PLC rallied from somewhere 33 cents and now 42 cents, or 30% move. Your Jollibee has that profit taking at 190. We do note that Jollibee will have a lot of buyers even if it goes down near 180. Any dips of Jollibee is an add-on dip, a buy on pullback. So JG Summit at 71, steady. ICT is 127, steady. GT Cap 525 had that profit taking. AC also has that profit taking move. Now, when you take a look at your top traded, today's top traded are actually some exotic names. So exotic meaning they're not index names. You've got PHR continuing further. So we did say a few days ago, we got in at about 250. It's now actually 25% higher. PHR is now 3.12. I hope you also followed and made some money on the way up. PHR is now 25%. It's now actually 12% up. For those who aren't in the know, PHR is actually Dennis Oy's backdoor catalyst for that for their PH Resorts. It is a potential casino in Cebu. It is a bit speculative given that casino is 2 years in the making. However, we are seeing that PHR had a follow-on offering at 168, 312. Where will they profit take? We're going to take a look at the charts of PHR, but quickly saying that PHR has this first rally resistance here at 360. Nonetheless, this is good to see because the buyers are willing to buy higher. And so any profit taking might be considered a 280 maximum peak if it's maximum low if ever that this is a upper high, higher low, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, let's take a look at your most attractive gainers. Your FI is actually up 50% today, 0.355 to 0.53. We'll explain that, 111 million pesos. Maybe we can start reading the news. About 5 days ago, there is this news in ABS-CBN, posted November 11, 2020, that SquidPay wants to buy into Premier Horizon Alliance for a backdoor listing move. So SquidPay is buying into, this is a contactless payment solution provider. They want to enter a 55% stake in PHA, just as a vehicle similar to what SPACs are in the USA for a prospective backdoor listing at the Philippine Stock Exchange. So they signed a memorandum of agreement that will allow this fintech company to subscribe about 2.8 billion shares at 33 cents a piece. A third of 300 million pesos of these transactions will enable to be paid in cash, and the rest will be combined via cash and stock infusions in a period of 2 years. The company is empowering the unbanked, so it's just similar to your GCash. It is startup by Marvin de la Cruz and his group, a payment solution firm, via stored value cards and mobile application. To be honest, guys, I have no idea about the SquidPay numbers other than this news on ABS-CBN. I am not aware how much this payment solution has generated. Personally, of course, I would prefer to just simply own Ant Financial, which is Ant Group. It's an IPO abroad, and it had been hindered. That Alibaba had been hindered. However, I do think that within 6 months, you have an entry point on Ant Financial. So SquidPay is actually very speculative despite that move today in the market. I'll share to you that chart of PHA. I think though that for a fintech play, I would prefer really going abroad rather than Philippine companies. It is, so for those who aren't in the know, Globe is partnered through GCash. So I use GCash in my phone. So whenever I send money through my mobile phone, I'm predominantly using my GCash. And that GCash is actually Alibaba. So for those who aren't aware, I'm going to share to you that we have featured that ad group Awesome10x. Just type it in on the YouTube show. and IPO, November 4, 2020, plus Chinese electric vehicles and fastly bargain hunting. So here in Awesome10x, we highlight companies that will make you a lot of money, not necessarily in the Philippines, but abroad. In fact, Chinese electric vehicles substantially rallied 100% and more for us. And a lot of the fastly buyers were also up from 64 that we entered. It's now trading at $80 last Friday. So despite the market probably positive thinker on this SquidPay, I would think first if I'll be willing, because I don't know exactly what they offer. Take note that any fintech startup is gonna fight against your GCash and your Paymaya. So I think that PLDT and Globe has the upper hand, given that Tencent and Alibaba are the backers. So it's going to be a tough fight for any startup to actually earn some money competing with those companies. So the trend is good, cashless-based payments. However, I don't know how many people are downloading this. I don't know how many people are using this. Let's read it together, maybe. Among cashless payment, SquidPay is helping the transportation sector, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board. According to the LTFRB, SquidPay is offering its fare collection system through the tap codes or QR codes, such as the same with Paymaya, GCash, and Beep, giving all drivers and operators more cashless payment options. To encourage transport, SquidPay announces a free installation on all passenger jeepneys, buses, taxis, and ride-hailing cars in several major cities. Guys, I also need to explain that Grab has this Grab Pay. Shopee also has C Money. Razer has Razer Pay. Facebook has Facebook Pay. Apple has Apple Pay. The payment is a crowded market. So just because there is a payment solution here and there doesn't mean that it will be used. The majority of people would need a lot of transactions. And to be fair, I think that I'll side with Ant IPO for this. I'll side with Ant Financial. Yeah, so I'll go for the bigger entities. And so there, I'm just like sharing my own point of view. Okay, so PHA, just sharing the charts as well. We're gonna go to the charts as well. So 25 cents rally to 53 cents. However, do note that this company has a lot of resistances. 57 cents, your first resistance, 97 cents, another resistance. As a fintech play, there are several companies, of course, but I am not sure if this is a company that I would want to own. It really depends on what the market likes. But personally, I think that I'll be more comfortable with global entities. So if I'm like thinking of a fintech, I wouldn't be choosing, well, personally, that's just me. Okay, let's take a look on the index as well. Okay, so stats-wise, okay, so FA went up. That would be the SquidPay fintech payment effect. But I don't think that it is a very sustainable move. Maybe rallies at about 57 cents might have some profit takers after a rally from 25 cents. Not aware of the news on Primex and very low volume, so I wouldn't know much. PHR is more on the Dennis Oy play. So that is the casino tandem in Cebu. Wholesome, this is not aware of the news, if any. MerryMart actually surprised me because it actually rallied. I think this is a new high. And I was surprised because it broke that 4.5, given that I don't see any catalyst except supermarket. So yeah, so from 4.5, it's now at 4.8. MerryMart has been rallying for quite a while. I don't see it supported. I don't know if it's going to be supported by fundamentals. So this is all chart. Nothing I see on the fundamental side. Of course, Puregold also rallied, but Puregold rallied not because of anything else except the fact that it fell already. From 54, it was over-exaggerating down on downside to 41, so some people picked it up, more like a bargain hunting, not necessarily a news-related flow. And then you can see that RHI did the same. When you take a look at RHI, after hitting that 70 peso, the drop was just muted at about 63, and actually it's just there. So 63 to 70 is a range play for your Robinsons Retail. Okay, let's see more news. Okay, PHR answered that ASEN, okay, ASEN is not given a lot of sellers. We have been mentioning that ASEN and Megawide was highlighted in our previous November 13 episode last Friday because ASEN had that SRO, and we did say that the SRO only means that if you have 20,000 shares, then you can buy roughly 18,000 shares of ASEN at 2.37. A lot of people would likely subscribe if they have cash on the side. And then the few people who don't have cash on the side will also sell their ASEN shares, half of it, in order to pay for their ASEN SRO. So no matter what it is that, but the market you can see is more bullish on this SRO rather than bearish. So the market is truly in love with this renewable, rightly so, because I do believe that the acquisitions of ASEN is for the benefit in the next decade. So it is a positive thing. AGI is up 9 pesos right now, 9.20. We have been opining that AGI has a potential rally to about 9 to 10. It's now nearing that zone. Megawide is 9.44. We also opined that Megawide has that potential to keep on rallying because that the Megawide preferred shares is actually more bullish on the equity side rather than the preferred shares. The preferred shares are a low interest rate to enable Megawide to continue their PPP efforts. Megawide is mostly a government contractor for your NAIA, your Clark, and of course manages, develops, and operates the current Cebu Mactan Airport. Okay, let me see any questions, if any. I'll go to the comment channel. Comment side, okay. So answer the SquidPay already. What is your insight in GT Cap and Converge? So GT Cap would be about, wait guys, been checking. That's for the US. Teka lang. Instagrams. Wait lang . While it's loading, guys, let me just check if I can answer your questions. Thoughts on DoubleDragon? May release ba? I haven't read it eh. Wait lang . Edge. So what did DoubleDragon write in their press release? Press release, let's read it together. Okay, so there's a press release for both. Let's read it together. So MerryMart reported first 9 months, revenues are up 28% to 2.4 billion. Net income is up to 14 million pesos. Cash is 1.3 billion. So MerryMartDelivery.com. So most of the cash is brought about by the IPO proceeds. It just means that the company hasn't deployed all that money into stores. Perhaps they want to do a lot of online delivery, which is correct. And so far, this 2.4 billion pesos is a good thing. It's up 28%, primarily because it's coming from a very low base. Be aware that if you're already at 100 billion pesos revenue side, in the sense that that's the categories of Puregold, 100 billion pesos already of sales, it's definitely harder to actually compete on a percentage return. You have to look at the volume, and so it's really about that. So I'm gonna show to you the revenues. The revenues of Puregold is something like 165 billion pesos a year. And so 5% of that would be about 8 billion on EBIT. And their net income is a clean 3 billion. Then when you look at the Puregold numbers, let's go to the analysis. It's very easy naman. At least at the very least, you have to have understanding of the market caps. How much is Puregold trading at today? Just take a look at the market cap. Your Puregold is now trading at about 126 billion pesos. Your MerryMart is considered a startup. Let's go to the all shares. So MerryMart is somewhere in this zone of trying to beat, but it's not gonna. It's gonna take a long time. Here, MerryMart. Where is that? Where's that? Here. So MerryMart right now trades at about 36 billion pesos, or approximately one fourth of Puregold, without the number of stores that Puregold has. Puregold today has more than 400 plus store networks. So between the two, Awesome10x believes that MerryMart is speculative, Puregold is stable. Between the two, it's no question who we like. Nonetheless, for people who are trading MerryMart, it is a trade, not an investment. I do think that good for the traders, good move for you. Probably take a look, trail it as you are profitable, but on any dips, probably also sell. What else? Let me see more questions. So there's a question on DoubleDragon. So again, let's take a look at the DoubleDragon press release. Let's read it. So MerryMart and DoubleDragon are both, you could consider them as companies that are little companies that want to become big. And they're very different. One is in the supermarket and one is in the property sector. So let's read it. Let's see the disclosure. Okay, press release. I'm gonna read it for you. Okay, DoubleDragon said that their net revenues are up 40% to 9 billion. Net income is up to 5 billion pesos. Rental income is up to 3 billion pesos. Recurring revenue is 3.3 billion. The company is changing their corporate name to DDMP REITs. And they also want to file a REIT as early as, so they want to make a 14.7 billion DDMP REIT offering. Complete details will be provided upon filing. Okay, so guys, as you well know, a lot of the companies are trying to raise money through different methodologies. It could be borrowing money through preferred shares, or in a case of a property, it could be real estate investment trust. A real estate investment trust is similar to what Ayala REITs did. Personally, I am not a big fan of REITs. I'm not a big fan because usually I prefer just equities. But if this succeeds, if this REIT is successful, of course, it's positive to DoubleDragon. It is positive to DoubleDragon because it allows them to have cheap funding the same way as Ayala REITs were able to get. Ayala REITs enabled Ayala to actually get cheap funds, and so it's positive to the company. Okay, let me read more questions. Vistaland, please, thoughts on tech and SSI. Aboitiz Power, I don't cover Aboitiz Power. Vistaland seems to have resistance about 3.8. Tech, I don't cover it. Tech seems to be having a resistance about 8 pesos. SSI, we do think that SSI goes to 2. You can take a look at our analysis on SSI. Just type it in the Awesome10x. What's your view on Security Bank? Just a laggard at about 105, 110. What is your advice for Dito? Still suspended. I think that Dito really had a seller on about 7, so I don't know what's going to happen on that suspension. I think there are more sellers on Dito Talco at these levels. Go PLC, breakpoint 5, very strong for PLC. Hope Puregold declares some dividends. Puregold always declares dividends a year. For those who aren't aware, Puregold has been paying 2% yield every year. Sometimes it's you can see it naman eh. You just search. Use your Google search. Puregold dividend history. They give every year. It's not a hope. They give it every year. Dividends for Puregold. Every year yan. It's not like parang magulo. Every year yan. Even this year they paid. So here you could see that to 40 cents, that would be Teka. You can actually see it in the website mismo of Puregold. Puregold Investors Relations. Just check it here. Parehas yan. I think it's about 1 to 2%. Nothing big, but nothing small. It's fine. It's decent. Decent lang. Mrs. G din po. Mrs. G had a problem na naman, di ba? The earnings weren't as good. If you take a look at the reports, it's low, pero they haven't shown any. It could be a recovery play because department store see Mrs. G. It's not just a supermarket, so it can be seen like a recovery play. I would agree with that. It's value, given that there is a cycle naman na it's not expected to continually lose money next year. So that would be, it would be a neutral. Like Mrs. G, you've got buyers because it's value, it's priced in, negative negative results are probably priced in already for the last 9 months. It was a reversal. Mrs. G lost something like 400 million pesos this year versus earning 400 million pesos last year. Would you recommend long-term for Security Bank? I'm not too knowledgeable, so I can't know much. But I think I can check more. I can check a lot of banking reports. I don't know much. Sorry. When I know nothing, I just say I know nothing. So probably read more disclosures about the company. RLC is going down. Should I buy on dips? In my view, Robinson's Land is moving up mainly because of moving down mainly because of their. There's this report that Robinson's Land seems to have been deleted in your MSCI. Okay lang. And so I think that Robinson's Land is going down based on that. However, for you to understand whether it's a buy, first and foremost, you could see that Robinson's Land is gonna trade the same way as all your properties. So you can check the charts. Sige, dagdag mo water later. So you can see that Robinson's Land is a laggard, like all your yeah, if possible. Sige. So it's a laggard. It hasn't rallied ever since March. From about, you could see this was a 10, then this is 1365. It never picked up. You've got a lot of pressure here at about 17 early. So some people who are bargain hunting will take a look. Should they buy Robinson's Land from 1520? Hindi, sa'yo yun, di ba? That's your water. 1520 to about 14 pesos. So you've got that 10% downside. Now, the question is Robinson's Land going to go 17, 20, or 30? That is the question, right? So to answer the question, is Robinson's Land going to recover? First, you have to know what Robinson's Land does, for those who aren't aware what Robinson's Land does. Robinson's Land, go to your investor relations. We can answer your questions more fully if we have, ano ba? So we're going to just read it daily. I'm going to try to read it for you. So go to the 2020 investor presentation, just click it up, earnings call presentation. So let's read what they're doing amidst the pandemic. How will they recover? How is their pivot this time? So here, their businesses, they've got a lot of malls. They have these mixed-use developments, lifestyle centers, office, mixed-use workable centers, residential buildings, household divisions, hotels, industry facilities. So Robinson's Land has fallen something like 50 to 60% from its yearly highs. You could see in the last 5 years, Robinson's Land traded at 30. It's now trading at 15, or approximately 50% down. So the question is, does it go to about 20 pesos at the very least? Okay, so it says that it's a diversified business model. Their portfolio returns revenues is down 30%. Your EBITDA is still decent at about 10 billion. Net income is still decent. Your earnings before interest tax is still decent. You've got some cash. You've got a lot of cash, even if the market dropped it down to 50%. Shares to you, since the last 3 years, their assets have been going up because of their solid financial prudence. So Robinson's Land is a well-managed property company. The malls are about 4.8 billion. The offices are 4.3. Hotels are nearly a billion. Your residential is a huge chunk, and the residential is down 36. Sorry, this is good to see. Your residential is up 36% this year. And the only drop that you have is actually this malls. So your malls is really suffering, but your residential is growing. This is a surprise from about, so your residential sales is growing primarily, in my view, because of more development. So let's take a look. So commercial centers, they are one of the mall operators, largest malls. They have 52 malls nationwide, 1.5 million square meters of gross leasable area, 2.9 million square meters of gross floor area, over 8,000 retailers. These are their partners, and these partners are unlikely to stop their rentals with Robinsons even during the pandemic. The rental revenues would likely be dropping, just like all Ayala's and SM malls, the same thing. However, we do see that, yes, it is a pandemic reopening play because those malls will eventually get a lot of mall traffic such that rental will increase over time. April to September mall data, we are seeing that 20% is 70%. So we are seeing more recovery. That is your recovery play from operational tenants. You had a close 6%. Now it's back to 80%. Your foot traffic is also growing. Office buildings, you've got call centers. You've got a lot of these partners. Office buildings division in Tarlac has been completed. Davao. Hotel and resorts are fine. You've got Crown Plaza, Dusit Thani, Holiday Inn, company-owned brands, Go Hotels. It's fine, not too much. This is probably one of the largest important things. Their sales take-up, their realized revenues is up 36% year-on-year. Their net sales take-up is down. So what is the reason why their sales are up? They've got Robinson's residential division and Robinson's Homes. So the residential front is actually positive for Robinson's. Investment portfolio, they also have been growing some industrial facilities in Calamba, Laguna. This is a warehouse property, 38,000 square meters, not so bad. Development portfolio, Bridgetown Estates, 30 hectares in Bridgetown Estates. They also have this Chengdu PNTA project, which is a townhouse project in Chengdu that would be in China, so not bad, very good. They are diversifying abroad and not bad. We are seeing that they sold something like 2.4 billion yuan. Not bad. That would be, guys, about, you have to divide that by 7. Let me just see. I know that, so that's 3 billion yuan. I think this is very good, actually, to see that they are hitting a lot of sales in China, like Chengdu. So this PNTA project is 3 billion. I think 3 billion yuan is equivalent to, let's see it in dollars. 3 billion Chinese yuan is about, it's about $455 million. Not bad. Am I reading the numbers correctly? 3 billion yuan. Yeah, 3 billion I know is about 21 billion pesos, right? 3 billion renminbi to pesos. Yeah, it's about, yeah, you're right. It's about 20 billion pesos. Very good work. It's about $500 million. Not bad. Okay, so CapEx and Land Bank, it's well-positioned Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. They've got plans also in Visayas, Mindanao. The offices are there, future plans. Okay, China is good. Yeah, I'd say that Robinson's Land is one of the more attractive Philippine companies that you could actually buy. Let's take a look at the current levels. Robinson's Land is now trading at just 79 billion pesos. Your sales take-up is something in the realm of, let me see the total sales for this year. It's about, well, this is just the third quarter, but for the year, the revenues is already around, it's about 30 billion here. But if it's 30 billion pesos here and it's 20 billion in the Philippines, what's this? 10 billion is this? Sorry. So China was not included here. Why? That should have been here, right? Because China was like 20 billion in sales. Either way, looks good. I think that it is an undervalued price gem. So at current levels of about 15.2, yeah, you can buy. The answer is yes, you can buy. You can still buy Robinson's Land at current levels. There is a question, Cebu Pacific, is it for the long term? Okay, Cebu Pacific, in my view, after the pandemic reopening, it's gonna go up. So I don't know if it's gonna be like 50 pesos, 60 pesos, 70 pesos. I do think that the trajectory is going up, such that at 41, 42, 43, even at 39, when we were opining 39 below, we were saying that it was a great entry point. We have no idea exactly the target. Is it 70 pesos? Is it 50 pesos? Is it 60 pesos? However, my suggestion is, if everyone's going to travel next year, then that airlines is an essential good, such that it should be above 20% at the very least. So I'm not sure how long-term is long-term. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? But give it time. When travel demand is back, definitely Cebu Pacific is one of those companies that will rally. Let's go tomorrow and discuss, because it's already 35 minutes. Just ask me tomorrow. Please like the videos. Please check that channel, subscribe, and do note that Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Awesome10x. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.